Welcome friends, we are here for a discussion of the question on current affairs, that is the prelims based questionnaire, and the subject is geography. The first question for discussion today is Pyramid of Djoser is sometimes seen in news. It is located in which of the following country? Now it is talking about pyramid and the options are Mexico, Sudan, Egypt and Cambodia. This pyramid was at the center of discussion. It was opened in March 2020, the year of pandemic, that is the corona lockdown. It was opened in this particular year after a period of almost 14 years. After 14 years, it was opened in March 2020 and it is located in Egypt. The structure is believed to be designed by a person whose name is called as Imhotep, who is considered as the first architect of the world. He is considered, not accepted by everyone, but he is considered as the first architect of the world. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This has to be kept in mind. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and so it is very much important. It was constructed at the time of second king of ancient Egypt's third dynasty, that was Pharaoh Djoser, right? If you look at the location, it is located somewhere over here. This is the capital of Egypt, that is Cairo. Very close to Cairo, somewhere over here, this is the location of this pyramid that is called as Djoser. It is almost 24 kilometers southwest of Cairo. That is the location of this particular pyramid over here. Egypt is having this particular water body which is called as Gulf of Suez. This is Port Said. Between Gulf of Suez and Port Said you are having this canal that is called as Suez Canal. It is one of the very prominent and important international sea routes connected to Red Sea. Red Sea is connected by a Strait of Bab al-Mandab to Gulf of Aden, and in this manner the ships from Indian Ocean can sail and reach Mediterranean Sea, which can further move on to Atlantic Ocean. So the answer was Egypt. The next question for discussion is the land border of Haiti is closest to which of the following countries? The question is the land border of this country Haiti is closest to which of the following countries, and the options are Cuba, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Panama. For this type of questions you must have a clear understanding of the map. Have a look at the map. The question is asking about Haiti. So you need to look at Haiti. Haiti is located over here. This is the country Haiti, and the options are Cuba, Puerto Rico, Colombia and Panama. Now Colombia has nothing to do over here. Colombia is located in South America. Panama is located over here. It is quite far away. Cuba is present over here, and what is the other option? Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is present over here. Now if you look at these entire region, if you look at these four options, Puerto Rico over here, Cuba is having its mainland up till here, and this is Haiti. So Cuba is closest to Haiti, Colombia is quite far away, Panama is quite far away. However, the nearest country is Dominican Republic, but Dominican Republic is not in our option, so Cuba will become the right answer. As a result, the answer to this particular question will be option A, that is Cuba. The land border of Haiti is closest to which of the following countries, and the answer shall be Cuba. Cuba remains at the center of dispute because if you have followed the NCERT books, you must be knowing about the Cuban Missile Crisis that took place during the time of Cold War, right? And as Ukraine has been used by USA, it is the allegation by Russia, as Ukraine has been used by NATO and specifically USA as a deterrence against Russia. In the same manner, Cuba might be used by Russia against USA, right? This is the importance for this particular region. This water body is Florida State, very important for the movement of Gulf Stream. This entire group is called as Greater Antilles, and this section is called as Caribbean Island, right? The next question for discussion is regarding the eddy currents. Now it is not a map based question, rather it is a concept based question. That the eddy detection technique as developed by the Indian scientists you need to consider the following statement. The method developed by the scientists aims to identify initial traces of pre-cyclonic eddy vortices in the atmospheric column. The technique has the potential for early detection of tropical cyclone with at least 90 hours lead time. Now have a look at this figure of a tropical cyclone. What exactly a tropical cyclone is, you need to understand that. You must be having clear-cut idea about that. Now what is the formation of tropical cyclone? When the formation of tropical cyclone take place, then initially the oceanic temperature must record a higher temperature of say 27 degrees Celsius or more than that. Along with that, some pre-existing vertical instability must be there. Some pre-existing vertical instability must be there, and this, that is eddy detection technique, is basically a technique to detect that well in advance. The method was developed by the scientists aimed to identify the initial traces of pre-cyclonic eddy vortices, right, in atmospheric column. So it is a technique. Now going by the first statement, the method developed by the scientists aims to identify initial traces of pre-cyclonic eddy vortices in the atmospheric column. It is appearing correct. Then this technique or this method can bring about the genesis of production with minimum 4 days in advance. If you say 4 days in advance, that is the claim of the technique, it amounts to almost 90 hours only. So the technique has a potential for early detection of tropical cyclones with at least 90 hours lead time. It is also a correct statement. Both the statements appear correct, and so you need to find the correct one. So option C, both 1 and 2 will become the right answer. But if you look at this particular figure, then what the cyclonic circulation exactly means, that before the formation of cyclonic system over a warm oceanic area or a warm oceanic environment, the initial atmospheric instability mechanism is studied, the vortex development is studied, and that help us to detect the formation of cyclone 4 days in advance, and that is about on which the question is based, that is the eddy detection technique. These cyclonic eddies are the prominent features in vertical atmosphere column encompassing the disturbance, this entire region, right? So this is detected well in advance and we get that. The next question, which of the following countries are not landlocked? Now the question is again a map based question, a direct question, that which of the following countries are not landlocked, and the countries are Mali, Nigeria, Guinea and Ghana. For that you have to look, all these countries belong to which continent? They belong to Africa. Now have a look at this particular map. Mali is a landlocked country, Niger is a landlocked, Chad, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia. Then you are having Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Botswana, Lesotho, Swaziland. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 countries are there which are landlocked countries. You need to evaluate the options: Mali, Nigeria, Guinea, Ghana. Now Mali is a landlocked, Nigeria is not landlocked, Guinea and Ghana. Guinea is present over here. This Guinea is present over here, Guinea, and the other is Ghana. Ghana is present over here, this country Ghana. So Guinea is not landlocked, Ghana is not landlocked, Nigeria is not landlocked, only Mali is landlocked. Now have a look at this, which of the following countries are not landlocked? So Nigeria, Guinea and Ghana will become the right answer. So 2, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4, option C becomes the right answer to this particular question. A careful study of the map of Africa is required for your UPSC Prelims examination. It is very much important, right? The next question for discussion is, cryoconite hole is associated with which of the following? Now the question is on cryoconite hole. As the options are plateau, plains, glaciers and desert. Now something is written as cryo. Cryo means something cold. So if we go by the options, the option C, that is a glacier, becomes the right answer. But that is a trial and error type of mechanism. You need to understand that what is meant by cryoconite hole. The answer shall be glaciers, but you need to understand what is a cryoconite hole. Have a look at this figure. This is a glacier. This entire figure is a zoom map for a glacier. And what happens on this particular region? The deposition take place, and this deposition may be either of dust, it may be soot, or it may be dark microbes as well. Anything that is, the concept is it has to be dark in color. What will happen is something dark will be formed over here. Suppose this particular region is having dark color. Then you must be aware of the yield budget. There is a concept that is called as albedo. In snow and ice covered region, maximum part of the incoming solar radiation is returned back in the form of albedo and very less is retained. But here we are having a dark spot. The dark spot may be due to dust, soot or microbes. It reduces the reflecting power of the snow, of the ice, and so the albedo reduces. If albedo is reducing, then what is happening? Heat is getting trapped. So heat is getting absorbed. So this area absorbs the heat. As a result, it develops a hole in this manner. Have a look at these holes. These are all cryoconite holes, right? And finally, it results in melting of the glacier. This is the process by which the glaciers actually melt, and this is one of the phenomena associated with something that has come up in news very recently, that is Arctic amplification. Right, related to Arctic amplification, related to melting of ice. So answer shall be glacier. The next question for discussion is arrange the following islands in Indian Ocean in north to south direction. So you need to arrange the islands in north to south direction. So the islands are Reunion, Comoros, Mauritius and Seychelles. Have a look at the map again. The islands in the question are Seychelles over here, Comoros over here, Mauritius over here and Reunion over here. Mauritius is this, right? So Seychelles, Comoros, Mauritius and then Reunion. So answer will be Seychelles, Comoros, Mauritius and finally Reunion, SCMR. So Seychelles is, you have to arrange north to south. Seychelles will be number 1. Next will be Comoros. Next will be Mauritius. And the fourth will be Reunion. So the sequence will be 1. As per this, 1 will 4. So the answer should be 4, 2, 3, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1 should be the right answer, and hence option B, 4, 2, 3, 1 becomes the right answer. You need to have a very careful study of the map if you want to answer the questions on this parameter. What is the importance of this entire region? Seychelles, news. The local people of Seychelles keep on agitating. Indian government tried to establish a port over there, but there is agitation from the local population over there. Comoros, very close to Tanzania. Tanzania is known for cloves, that is grown over here. Reunion Island belongs to France, having its own importance. Mauritius, an island far off in the Indian Ocean, having its own importance. All these islands remain in limelight, keep on coming in the newspaper every now and then, and so their locational aspect becomes an important part for your UPSC preparation. Next question, arrange the following ports from west to east. You need to arrange these following ports from west to east and have a look at the name of the ports. It's Bandar Abbas, Bandar Abbas, Chabahar, Bandar Ejask and Gwadar. Now Bandar Abbas is one of the major oil fields of Iran. This is a port that is located on Strait of Hormuz. That is the connecting strait between Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. Chabahar, always in news. It is developed by India. The port is located in Iran, but it is being developed by India, right? And it is a part of India's much talked about International North-South Transport Corridor, INSTC, International North-South Transport Corridor. Belt and Road Initiative that belongs to China. India is developing this as International North-South Transport Corridor that extends from India to Russia, and it is through Chabahar port, including the sections of Afghanistan, Uzbekistan and so on, right? It is a part of that. Bandar Ejask is a port very close to Bandar Abbas, slightly on the eastern side of Bandar Abbas, and Gwadar is a port that is present in this country whose name I don't want to write, but yes, it is Pakistan, Gwadar port, and it is a part of a string of pearls that was developed by China. It is also a part of Belt and Road Initiative of China that is located over there. Have a look at the map. You will be able to see the location of these ports. This is Strait of Hormuz and this is Bandar Abbas. This is Chabahar port located in Iran, and this is the Gwadar port which is located in Pakistan, right? So you need to arrange these ports from west to east. When you have to arrange these ports from west to east, the first will be Bandar Abbas. On the eastern side of Bandar Abbas, you are having this port that is Bandar-e-Jask, that is located somewhere over here. So Bandar Abbas will become your westernmost, then Bandar-e-Jask, then Chabahar, and then Gwadar. So the sequence will be Bandar Abbas followed by Bandar-e-Jask. You have to look at west to east. Third will be Chabahar and fourth will be Gwadar. So it will be 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. Option A shall become the right answer. This area is very important for your entire section of UPSC. Focus on this area that is written as Middle East, South Asia and Central Asia. They are very important. The next question for discussion is, consider the following statements regarding recently erupted Mount Semeru volcano of Indonesia. Now Mount Semeru volcano, and that is in Indonesia. Mount Semeru is located on Pacific Ring of Fire. Yes, Indonesia, the Mount Semeru location, that is a part of Pacific Ring of Fire. So the statement 1 appears correct. It is formed due to subduction of Sunda plate below the Indo-Australian plate. It is a wrong statement because the reverse is true. Indo-Australian plate subducted under the Sunda plate. It was not that the Sunda plate subducted, rather Indo-Australian plate subducted below the Sunda plate. So statement 2 is wrong. Which of the above statements are correct? One only, option A shall become the right answer. You need to know the location of the Semeru island. See here, this is the entire section of Indonesia, right? This is Sumatra island of Indonesia and this is Java island of Indonesia. This is Java island. On this Java island, here you are having the location of this volcano Semeru that erupted very recently. This is the island that is called as Borneo. It is having 3 countries, Indonesia, Malaysia and Brunei. Kindly look at that. The water body is over here, Java Sea present over here, that you need to see. And see over here, this is what? This is written as Bali. That is one of the famous tourist destinations and it was the center for G20 of Indonesia this year, right? All the world leaders assembled over here for the G20 summit, and the next year honor will be at our capital, that is New Delhi, right? That is the importance of G20 here. However, the location of Semeru must be clear to you. It has erupted and it is known as the Great Mountain of Java. It is the highest volcano of Java as well, right? Indonesia is in itself an island arc formed due to subduction of Indo-Australian plate below the Sunda plate. So these are the important points. Answer we have already discussed. The next question for discussion is, North Sea is surrounded by which countries? Again a map based question, and so have a look. This is the location of North Sea. North Sea is one of the most shallow sea of the world. It is known for a fishing bank known as Dogger Fishing Bank, formed by which 2 currents? Rennell current and the cold polar water of North Sea. See the countries surrounding the North Sea. Which countries are having the coastline? UK is having the coastline. Specifically, England is having the coastline. France is having the coastline. Belgium is having the coastline. Netherlands is having the coastline. Germany is having the coastline. Denmark is present over here. Then Sweden is present over here. Norway is present over here. Scotland is present over here. Right? The question is, the North Sea is surrounded by Denmark. Have a look at the map. Yes. So Denmark, where is the question go? Denmark, correct. Next, Russia. Can you find Russia over here? Russia is not here. So Russia is not a part of that. Can you find Norway? Yes. Can you find France and Belgium? France over here, Belgium over here. So France and Belgium also. Which of the above statements are correct? You need to find North Sea is surrounded by which of these 4 places? So 1, 3, 4 and 5 are there. So 1, 3, 4 and 5, option C will become the right answer to this particular question. Whenever you follow atlases, whenever you go through atlas of any particular region, you have to locate the important water bodies, the surrounding water bodies, important straits, channels, passages, they all become important, right? North Sea is important. Why? Because of Brent crude oil. The international benchmark to set the price of crude oil, that is the Brent crude oil, is found from the Brent oil field that is located in North Sea only, right? So it remains important. It is surrounded by the countries which are all countries which are important in terms of international fora, be it anything. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, France, UK, they are all always at the center of world stage, at the center of discussion. So North Sea gains importance. It is economically important, it is ecologically important, and it is important in terms of its nearness to this developed section of the world. So it was a map based question, and the answer we have discussed. The next question for discussion is Bhasan Char Island, seen in news recently, is an island in. Now, what is Bhasan Char Island? It is an island that is formed by the process of sedimentation. Where it is formed? It is formed slightly away from this location that is called as Cox's Bazar. What is the location of Cox's Bazar? That is the country that is called as our neighbor Bangladesh. The Bhasan Char Island, why it is there in the news, you need to understand that. What was the importance of this particular island? Why it is there in this questionnaire? The answer is Bangladesh. That is pretty clear. But have a look at this particular map. This is the location of Bhasan Char Island, present over here. This is Cox's Bazar. Cox's Bazar was having the problem of Rohingyas. After the coup of Myanmar in 2016, the Rohingya population started moving to all surrounding regions, and Cox's Bazar started witnessing more than 8 lakh of Rohingya population. Now Bhasan Char is an island that started emerging somewhere in 2016 only, just 6 to 7 years back. And this island has been selected by this country that is called as our neighbor Bangladesh, so as to move at least 1 lakh people from this location to this Bhasan Char Island, and then these Rohingyas won't be allowed to move out of this island until and unless their home country agrees to take them back and they are going back to their home countries. If they are not going, they will be stationed and fixed on this island only. That is the importance of Bhasan Char Island. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina made it as a temporary measure, but international criticism was bound to take place, and it did took place, and Bangladesh was criticized for that. But that is the importance. However, the answer to our question was Bangladesh. That's all for the discussion in this particular questionnaire. Thank you.